Hello my loves, it's Kat, how are you? So today we have another pick a card, and today's pick a card, this is a wild one. So, we all have those things that we know we need to do, that are good for us, that our spirit guides have told us to do several times before. But for some reason, we're not doing any of that. And there is not always even a clear reason why we're not doing it, we're just not. So in this reading, we are going to take a look at the version of you would become if you did those things. Who is on the other side of that? Who are you becoming? Who would you become if you did what you needed to do? So here is what you need to do. Choose a card or a crystal. You can choose several. We have 3 piles here for you to choose from. We have pile 1 with obsidian, pile 2 with carnelian, and pile 3 with citrine. So when you have made your decision, go down to the description box to find your timestamp. I will give you a few seconds to decide, and when you're ready, I will see it you're ready. Ready? Let's go. Hello my beautiful pile number 1. So you chose the obsidian or Apache tears. And then we have summer. What is the meaning? How do you translate that? So these cards are in Finnish actually. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. What is the meaning? Well, that's kind of like becoming something new, being reborn. Yeah, I think that's it, being reborn. And I think that answers our question quite nicely. You, my love, you would become someone brand new. Someone who is not afraid to take space. Someone who is not afraid to be seen. Someone who loves themselves and enjoys life and enjoys themselves. Someone who is not afraid. And someone who is not afraid of being afraid, if that makes sense. Someone who does things even though they are scary, even though it's frightening and scary and intimidating. They're not afraid of that. They are excited. They're not afraid to try. They're not afraid to live. They're not afraid to talk about their feelings. They are not afraid. Oh, well, that is quite contradictory because we have tranquility, harmonious in action. So I feel like what is actually happening here for you also is this type of balance as well. What I'm also getting here, do you have, oh my god, that's me. I was just gonna say, are you maybe a fire sign or an air sign, and then you have a fire sign as your rising? So I'm an Aquarius, and I'm a rising Leo. So do you have like something like this? Because I'm getting this kind of like a airy and fiery way here, kind of like it almost feels like, so to the outside it feels like, which is also okay, sorry, I'm figuring things out as I go. So what I'm feeling here is, you know, rising signs, they usually represent the side of you that other people see, if that makes sense. So I'm an Aquarius, but to the outside, I often have like Leo qualities that other people see in me. And I feel like you might have the same. You might have the same thing. And to the outside, it almost feels like you're going crazy. That is what it seems to the others. Like, you're going crazy. Like, you're mad. You're absolutely mad. But in your mind, in your heart, you're finally at peace. You're not afraid to be who you truly are. And you are at peace with yourself. You're not hiding yourself. You're not making yourself small. You finally have the courage to be who you were always meant to be. And to the others, it might seem really sudden, like you just changed overnight. But inside, you finally feel at peace, free. Beautiful. Okay, so let's get some tarot. You are so going to love yourself. Like, oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my God. And we have the Lovers. Like, the deck, I took it in my hand and it just exploded all of a sudden. And this popped out. So that's pretty spectacular. So what I'm getting with the Lovers card, it's not just self-love. It's also receiving love that you know you deserve. I feel like maybe in the past, I feel like someone in your past made you quiet. And this could be a trauma response. It could be that as a child you were really loud and all over the place and climbing the trees and falling off the trees and climbing again. And then someone somewhere made you feel like that wasn't okay, or you need to be quiet like a lady, or you shouldn't be so vocal about your feelings because you're becoming a man, or something like this. Like, you know, like someone somewhere made you feel like, okay, so it's safer if I just lock myself in and don't let anybody in and don't show who I really am. My cat Clyde is crying outside the door, so I'm just gonna let them in. It's really funny that I was just talking about like not letting anybody in, and then my gorgeous honey, I know you brought me a toy, but Mommy's working right now. I can't play with you. Take a little nap and I will play with you later, I promise. Okay, so let's keep going. With the Lovers card, it truly feels like, oh, and it's like a rose bush. Rose bush? Rose bush? I don't know why, but I just heard also like Akatar. I don't know how to actually pronounce that. Akatar? A court of roses and thorns, or the other way around. So I'm actually reading it. I'm just reading it. I don't know what is going to happen in it. I just started it. I'm really behind with book talk. Clyde, calm down. Take a nap. So what I'm getting with this, I don't know about because I've been avoiding all kinds of spoilers, but for some reason Akatar really came to me. I don't know if there is a relationship or a person or a character in there that reminds you of someone else, or is kind of like, yeah, this is the kind of person I am actually looking for. So it could be that this person who is coming, or I'd like to say more like you're accepting in your life. That is how I would like to phrase it. Because I feel like Are you one of those people who, when they are interested in someone, they seem super uninterested? Like they basically avoid them at all costs. I don't know. I'm the same. I'm an Aquarius, like I said. So I'm like that. But I do feel like you will be finding love that is acceptable. Someone who sees who you are, sees your worth, and every day tries to be worthy. Someone who fights for your love and attention every single day. Someone who doesn't just, you know, like when they get you, they just kind of forget about you and, you know, just kind of, I don't know, that happens. But I feel like also what I'm getting here is that this relationship is not going to be at all like the ones before. Ooh, 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 ooh. The cards are acting up again. Oh, I see the tower and the star at the same time. Yeah. They kind of like came out of the card, but I'm putting them back. I'm just mentioning them. So the star and the tower card. So the tower card is actually, a lot of people fear it because it's a difficult card, but it's kind of like how does it go? Like the purpose justifies the means, something like that. It's kind of like basically what the meaning of the tower card is. Oh my god, Clyde, calm the fuck down. I'm sorry, she's never like this. I don't know what's up with her. Seriously, get out and don't come back. Now I'm getting mad at you. Okay, so the tower card represents a moment in your life when you've been building a tower basically, but you built it on a foundation that was not steady. It was unstable. The tower was already kind of like wibbly wobbly, swing in the wind, you know, like it was gonna fall down eventually. But the tower card is kind of like, okay, well, let's just break it. It's time. It's gonna go. And sometimes we are so in it, we don't want to let it go. Like we are still in the tower while it's being crushed to the ground. And sometimes, you know, we are the ones who are bringing it down, and sometimes we are outside of it, like we've already left it. But the point is that it's with the star card, as I saw it, it's kind of like it's definitely a blessing in disguise. The star card represents hopes and dreams and new beginnings, and it's kind of like a beginning of a fairy tale. Like the way I say it, it's kind of like a once upon a time. Like that is the, I don't know, that's the vibe it gives me. And the thing about fairy tales, they always have a happy ending. So yeah, that is the star card for me. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my god, this reading is really all over the place today. Oh my god, that actually makes so much sense also, because I was having a really hard time with your finding this card for, getting this card for you, because I was shuffling the deck and it kept exploding and exploding and exploding, and these cards like kept coming out, and it was like it was like the spirit guides were really having a hard time deciding what card you should have. And then I was like, okay, like people calm down. One card, please. One card. And if there are like a lot of people with different things, give me a card that fits them all. So this is what I got. Being reborn. Which, yeah, it fits all. So yeah, there is this contradicting feeling here though. Like with the tranquility and with the fire fairy. It's kind of like accepting that you are a hot mess. Like not trying to fight against it. Like, I'm a hot mess and I love it. And this is what brings you peace. That finally accepting that you're not a lady. You will never be a lady. You will never be someone who well, I think you know. Someone who would suffocate themselves. Maybe you've been in the past. Oh my god, these cards are going crazy. Maybe you've been in the past, but that is no longer the case. It's kind of like finding your boundaries and sticking with them. We have 4 of Pentacles. I love that for you. You are basically letting go of the fear of needing to always be in control. I feel like you're releasing all of that. You're releasing yourself. You're accepting the hot messiness of you. And I feel like that is actually what will bring this person forward. If you already have a person in your life, and it's going well, everything is perfect, then this Lover's card, it represents building a new relationship on a steady foundation with yourself. Figuring out who you are. I feel like a lot of shadow work has come to play in this. Like a lot of shadow work. We have Page of Cups. A lot of shadow work. You've really worked. You've really cried. You've really tried to figure out who you are, why you're not. Oh. So that's the thing you've been avoiding. Shadow work, feeling your feelings. Oh my god, for a second I forgot the meaning of this reading and I was just reading the cards. That's the thing this version of you has done. They let go of this the feeling of needing to control every situation, the feeling of needing to control yourself. They basically let their personality run wild. They decided that they would accept the wildest version of themselves. What I'm hearing for you is hold on. I am my mother's savage daughter, the one who runs barefoot, crushing sharp stones. Yeah, that one. That is the one that I keep hearing for you. And that is the thing that they did. They did shadow work. They looked into themselves. They figured out where these limiting beliefs are coming from and who created them. Because let me tell you, these limiting beliefs, they came from someone else who wasn't you. They gave you their ideas and you took them in as your own. And you're letting go of those things. You're also finding out that, you know, I am actually really lovable. I am amazing. If I had the opportunity to date someone like me, hell yeah, I'd do that. Hell yeah. So there's that sort of feeling here. Like, I love myself and I love all the flaws. I love all the imperfections I have because they make me me. I am beautiful just the way I am. And that is how they did it. They did the shadow work. They let go of the control or the need to control everything. They sat with their shadow. This is the High Priestess, by the way. They sat with their shadow they sat with their spirit guides. They let things go and how am I don't have a word for that. Jesus. Basically what they did is that they relived their past. Perhaps they meditated and listened to music that a child version of them did, or the version of them did in the past, who experienced all that trauma, who experienced all those ugly words and you know, all of that. They tapped into that version of themselves and they sat with them and they healed. Not completely, because, you know, there's always left to heal, but this is a part of themselves that they healed. It's almost like the storm inside your brain, it has finally calmed down, and it's a beautiful day. And also it's really funny also that you chose the obsidian, because obsidian is made from, what the hell was that? I don't know. Anyway, obsidian is a stone that is created when lava cools down really fast. So I don't know, there is this feeling of letting yourself out. Like when a volcano erupts. And it's beautiful, but a dangerous thing. But I feel like you do it with this calm, it comes from a place of peace. It comes from a place of love. So this volcano that I see, it doesn't destroy. It doesn't destroy, it creates. It creates these beautiful stones. But it doesn't destroy. It's more like letting things out. Yeah. And I also feel like you might be finding some spiritual gifts along the way. But yeah, that is what you've been avoiding. Shadow work and digging deep into your past and your feelings and where all these limiting beliefs are coming from. And that is what you need to do so that you can become this person that you could become if you did those things. So this is what I had for you. I really hope you enjoyed. I would really love to know if this resonated with you. I love reading your comments and I read all of them. So yeah, I hope I see you in my next one. Bye. Wait, don't go yet. Oh my god. As I was cleaning up, I put all the cards back. I hope they are in the right places, but I just realized, oh my god, why the deck kept exploding on me. Like this version of you, it's dying to get out. It's dying. Like this volcano, it's dying to erupt. It needs to get out. And it's desperate. That's why the cards kept, because whenever I read, I always pay attention to how the deck is behaving. And this one, it was almost like the cards were so excited to get out that the whole deck kept exploding on me. And this is why this version of you really needs to get out. And I just gave you all the tools on how to do it. So I truly hope that this gave you the motivation to actually do that, because you deserve everything. You deserve to feel this way, to feel this powerful, to feel empowered, to get your power back. You deserve that. So please, do it. Tap in, get in, dive deep. You can do it. Because this is what's gonna come out of it, and it's beautiful. So yeah, this is now what I had for you. I really hope you enjoyed, and I hope I see you in my next one. Bye. Hello, my beautiful pineapple ones. So you chose the what the hell is this? Carnelian. Okay, got it. So yeah, so that's what you chose, and then you chose autumn, gratefulness. So, oh yeah, now I remember the story. So these cards, they always come with a story, and I used to read them from the book and translate them to English, but I decided to stop because I love the stories, but they take a little bit too long. But if you really loved the stories and you want them to come back, let me know in the comments. If even one of you wants them back, I will do it for you. I will do anything for you. So this story tells about this fairy who always wanted to grow this beautiful apple orchard, I think it's called. Orchard. And so one day she started by planting one apple tree. And it took many years before that one apple tree grew big enough to actually grow apples. And when it did, she was so grateful. She was so grateful to this tree, and like all the time that it took, she was very patient, and she was very grateful that one day, like, she finally got those apples that she wanted. And then eventually the tree started to grow so many apples that she was able to give them away to everybody that needed them. And from those seeds grew many more apple trees, and then her dream had come true. She finally had that apple orchard that she always dreamt of. But she just started with one tree. And it took some time, but she did it. So I feel like that is actually something that you are avoiding. You have a dream, you want to do something, you want to build something, you want to create something. But I feel like you're avoiding it. Is it because you feel like you don't have enough? You don't have the tools, or you don't have the equipment, and starting with just one tree seems too little when all you want is an orchard. You want many trees, not just one. But what I am being told to tell you is that start with that one apple tree. Start with what you have. Because later on, you will build on it. But also what is really good about it, like starting small, is that you get to try things when you don't have a lot of views yet. Like, you don't have a lot of people watching you fail, so to say. I can show you this next card soon. But you get to try, you get to build, you get to get better. And it's really good to not grow fast really quickly, because you have time to practice, you have time to get better, you have time to figure out what works and what doesn't. So yeah, then we have legacy, persistence. This is what you will be creating. This is the version of you you would be if you started with that one apple tree. Like what I just heard, like, I don't care how you start, just start. Just start. Whatever it is, just start. Like my very first YouTube video. Oh my god. It was missing the ending. The third pile, it was missing the ending. And I didn't realize that until someone pointed it out to me. Like, where's the rest of pile number 3? And I was like, oh my god, this is so embarrassing. And that is why my very first YouTube video is not out there for you to see, because it was incomplete. Anyway, like, yeah. It's just, that's just how it goes sometimes. Like, you need some time to practice, but the thing is that if you don't even start, how are you gonna get better? Just start. Just start. Alright, so let's see, who would you become if you actually did that? If you started, if you actually started. Oh my lord. I don't know why, but, well, actually I do know why it happened for pile number 1 at least, but let's not get into pile number 1 because this is pile number 2 and it's a completely different story. We have 10 of Pentacles. Someone who has it all. The 10 of Pentacles is completion of everything. You having everything you need. Like physical, material things. This thing, whatever this dream is, it's gonna yield some results. It's gonna bring you some money. I'm not talking about any money. I'm talking about the money. Okay? That is what it's bringing you. And yeah, it might take some time, okay? Like it might take years, but that's life. We don't, in this world, we're used to getting everything right now, this instant, having all the knowledge we need at the fingertips. That's not how things work. You need patience. You need to be persistent. You need to be committed and keep doing it. That is what you need to do. Like let's say you started and you kept doing it and it's so hard, it's so difficult and it's so time consuming. And you just keep hoping for the day when you know, you have it all. And what people don't actually realize is that that is when the real work actually begins. When you make it. Because then you've gotten what you wanted, but now you have to try to keep it. And that is much, much harder. That is so much harder. So that is when the real work actually begins. The cards keep like flipping over in this deck. I don't know why. So 6 of Wands. Oh, I'm gonna show it to you. 6 of Wands. Let me think for a moment. Oh, now I remember. Oh my god. For a second, I completely forgot the meaning of this card. So this is the victory card. 6 of Wands is the card of victory. Like this, it's usually a prince. And I think he is a prince because he has a crown. Anyway, he rises victorious after finishing a war, usually. Yeah, you will make it. You will actually make it. This is something that you're supposed to do. It might take some time, yes, but you need the time to become the best. It's not gonna grow just overnight. You're gonna grow it from ground up, slowly and on purpose. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. We have 9 of Cups as well. Oh my god. 9 of Cups. This is, if I remember correctly, I usually remember because, okay, so this is a little bit stupid, but when I was learning tarot, I learned it by the Crowley deck. I don't recommend it, honestly, I don't recommend it. The cards are not, the images are not the usual ones. They're a little bit weird. And usually just one sword and, you know, stuff like that. Anyway, and I remember this one. This one was fulfillment. Yeah, the point why I was telling you this is that, you know, the Crowley deck, it has describing words. And I often remember cards by the word that it describes. And this one was fulfillment. Like this one was victory, fulfillment. You will feel emotionally also fulfilled. Like you feel victorious. I just heard, I think it was the Paper Girls. I think that's what it was called. I think it's from Amazon Prime. It was a TV series of paper girls, you know, the girls who deliver papers. And they accidentally travel in time, I think into future at first. And one of the girls, they meet the future version of themselves. And this future version is a really depressed, someone who doesn't feel fulfilled in their lives. They don't feel great. And they have this habit of saying affirmations in the mirror, and a part of it was like, in my life I win, in my career I win, in my love life I win. And I feel like this is, I just like heard her and saw her saying that in the mirror, and I feel like that is actually how you're gonna feel. Like, I've won. In every area of my life, I've won. And there is not like this, like, I don't feel like you're searching for the next thing. I feel like you're really content. You're really happy. You love what you do. You're not restless. I feel like you get to create. You get to have time off. You get to do what you love. You're not looking for anything else. You're really content with what you have. Oh, we have the Hanged Man. Okay. And this was actually reversed. So, the Hanged Man, when it's upright, it often describes a feeling of being stuck. And when it's reversed, it represents having a different point of view and, you know, finally feeling like you're no longer stuck. And I feel like that is what you're feeling right now, like feeling a little bit stuck, like not sure what to do. And I feel like you're procrastinating a lot. You're kind of like avoiding doing the things that you know you need to do. Maybe there's a little bit depression there, or some sort of like depression and like rotting in bed and like being unable to move, basically, like physically being unable to get moving. And I feel like that's gonna be gone. That's gonna be all gone. And it all starts from this card, from just growing that one tree from a seed, starting with that one seed. Like whatever you have, whatever this dream is that you want to do, start with what you have. You don't need the equipment, not yet, because you're just starting, you're practicing, and as it grows and you want to get better, then you can start building it. Then you can start trying new things. That is what is going to happen. I feel like this thing that you're growing, it's actually going to be pretty huge. Like legacy. We have the card of legacy. I feel like this is something probably that you're... I feel like there might be like a generation change. Like, I don't know if that works in English. That is what we call it in Finnish. But what I mean is, you know, like when the owner of a company retires and then their son or daughter takes over the company. I feel like that is something that is going to move also. Like somebody in your... I feel like it's going to be a child. Your child will take it over as you want to retire or something, or if you want to start something new. I feel like your children, if you want any. Like obviously if you don't want any and stuff like that, and this is not the message for you, so you can just ignore it. But yeah, I feel like your children are gonna be involved in this or somehow gain benefits from it, like obviously money, being taken care of or something, but I feel like it has something to do with your children. And 10 of Pentacles. I feel like you feel so proud of this thing. Like you're so proud of it. This is gonna be the greatest accomplishment of your life, and I feel like you might be later on teaching other people, and the thing that you're gonna be telling them is start with that one apple tree. I feel like I think that this message might stick with you, like starting with one apple tree, even though you know you want a whole apple orchard. Start with that one apple tree and eventually you will have that orchard. So yeah, what else do I see for you? I feel like it's gonna be a struggle. It's gonna be a struggle. It could be that you don't have a lot of money yet and you don't have equipment and you know how to start. Maybe let's say because this is what I'm doing, so obviously it's what comes to mind for me. I could have like how to say this, I know a lot of people who started YouTube by just filming on their phones. I personally did not, because I have a really old phone with a really sucky camera. So I started with an actual camera, but it was a cheap one. It was a cheap one. It still is. I'm still using the same camera. So yeah, start with what you have. Start with what you have and just grow it from there. And also the whole time, please feel grateful, because there is a lot for you to be grateful for. And I feel like in the future, you're gonna be so grateful to this version of you who actually started, because it all started with you deciding to start this, you deciding that this is a dream I want to pursue, and I am gonna start with that one apple tree and I will grow it seed by seed if I have to, and I'm ready to do it. And yeah, you're gonna be so happy. You're gonna be ridiculously happy, let me tell you. Oh my goodness. But yeah, this is what I had for you. I really hope you enjoyed. I would love to know if this resonated with you. I love reading your comments and I read all of them. So yeah, I hope I see you in my next one. Bye! Hello my beautiful pile number 3. So you chose the citrine and autumn abundance. I think this is. It's a ronsaus. So yeah, I think it's abundance. So yeah. So So what I'm getting is that there are a lot of different things, little things, and I feel like they have a lot to do with people. So what I'm getting here is that I feel like a lot of it might have to do with setting up boundaries for you. You've been avoiding, or this is actually another thing that I'm getting here, is that you really need to have a talk with someone. You really need to have a talk with someone. And you've been avoiding it. Maybe you are not good with confrontation and you're afraid that they will get mad or something. I don't know if this is about them. I don't know if this is about you. What I'm getting is that this is about people though. But I feel like the future version of you, or this version of you who has done that, they are so happy. Like, look at it. Like, they are celebrating. They are having fun together. There are 3 fairies here, if you can't see. They are having fun together and they really enjoy each other's company. And I feel like I'm actually getting a story. Well, it's not a story, but I remember someone saying somewhere years ago that when they stopped saying like all these white lies, like out of being polite, like I'm sorry I'm late, the traffic was really bad, but actually they started to get ready really late, or they would say to their friend, oh, that looks really good, like that looks amazing on you, and it didn't really look that amazing on them. When they stopped saying all those things and she started to say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm late, I didn't get ready early enough, or oh honey, I feel like you have a lot more good characteristics and like you look really good, but this shirt is just not doing that for you. Like I don't think it's really flattering on you. Like she started to be honest, not rude, but honest. And she noticed that all of her friendships, they actually got a lot better. Like they actually, like her friends actually also started doing the same thing. They also stopped saying all of the white lies. They stopped doing that altogether. And now they have a really comfortable and honest relationship where they can tell each other everything straight up and without fear of judgment, really. Like they can talk about anything. And I feel like you are like this version of you, they have a lot of healthy, very healthy friendships and relationships. And this is, I feel like that is how it starts, being honest and saying how you actually feel. And also like, and what I'm getting here is like when things happen, say it then. Like if somebody says something to you that you didn't particularly like, talk to them about it. Say, I didn't really like that. Like that wasn't a really good joke. Like it made me feel really bad about myself, and I don't deserve that. Yeah, this version of you is doing all of that. Like they are setting boundaries. They are saying right away when they have their feelings hurt. And I get that. Like sometimes, honestly, this is something that I do actually personally in my relationship. And so does my boyfriend, actually. We've noticed that we know that we feel bad. Sometimes one of us sometimes says something in a weird way that the other person took wrong. And it actually sometimes takes us a while to figure out what was it that made us feel triggered. Like what did it trigger in us? And it might take like overnight to finally figure out like, oh, okay, so it triggered this memory I had. And then we talk about it then. Like we might say like, listen, yesterday when you said that, it made me feel really bad. I didn't know why then, but I know now, and it's because of this, and it reminded me of this situation. And we always apologize and we move on. We talk about it and we move on. And it works so well. It works wonderfully. We have, oh my God, understanding, looking at both sides. Oh my God. Oh my God, I love it when this happens. It's kind of like a reassurance for me, like, yeah, I got it right. So yeah, this is what is happening for you. You're actually, you're getting out with fear of confrontation. I feel like you will have a lot of, like when you start, it can be really difficult, but it's gonna be really good for you. It's gonna be good for everyone involved, actually. And yeah, there might be someone who is not actually thrilled about it and they decide this is not for me. I don't care for this honest relationship and I don't want that. So I'm just gonna go by. And yeah, we have the devil in reverse. I'm gonna show it to you what it looks like. So the devil here, what I feel like it's actually, if you see there's a devil playing his flute. Is it a pan flute? Anyway, and it was reversed for you. So it's kind of like, I feel like you might be more of an introverted type. less of a group leader, more like a, what do you want to do? Oh yeah, let's do that. More of a follower. And I feel like you might sometimes feel like you're beating to the beat of other people's drums sometimes, or this is something that you did in the past, or something that you're doing now, but you are fixing so that no longer happens. I feel like that's ending. Like, you have your own drum now, and you're gonna dance to the beat of your own drum. Like, nobody gets to, they don't get to expect that you will just keep following them anymore. Like, whatever they want to do, we're gonna do that. No more. Yeah, I feel like that is what is changing for you. Someone who can hold their space, someone who can hold their ground, say what they mean, and stand by it. We got 10 of Cups. Beautiful. Oh my lord. So this is kind of like the way I say it, it's kind of like an end of the rainbow kind of card. Like, everything is perfect. I have everything I want. My beautiful family. I'm loved. Everybody I love feels loved, and everything is just perfect. Yeah, this is happening for you as well. I feel like you're, if you are in a relationship now, some of you are in a relationship that is not actually, it's more like a karmic relationship, and I feel like those of you who just felt like, uh-oh, I was probably talking about you, but for some of you are in a really good relationship where you feel like it would be safe for you to say what you actually mean. And I feel like they might be even encouraging you to say what you actually want and what you need. I feel like they're encouraging you. And some of you are actually single. But I feel like in your future there is this healthy relationship either coming or being formed, or like, yeah. Either way, listen, if it's not this person that you're with right now, then it's someone else. And that's okay, because when that person comes around, you're like, yeah, I can see why it didn't work with that other person. And I'm actually kind of grateful for that. So if you're feeling really heartbroken, like, oh no, this is not gonna work out, what do I do? You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be just fine. Don't worry about it. You're gonna be just fine. So let's see, who are you becoming? Who would you become if you actually started saying what you mean and stood your ground and didn't fear confrontation so much? Okay, so we have 5 of Cups in reverse. I'm gonna show it to you what it actually looks like. 5 of Cups, oh no, she looks really sad, but that makes sense because this is in fact 5 of Cups. So the 5 of Cups represents, well, basically being sad, being really sad about a situation. And when it's reversed, it's kind of like a getting over it type of feeling. Like, I'm over it, like I'm done, I have cried it out, it's okay, it's over now. And then we have Page of Swords. Okay, so this is really interesting. Page of Swords. So I feel like who you are becoming is someone who, how should I put this? Someone who this sounds a little bit bad, but maybe it makes sense. So they are not afraid to cut off somebody who is not good for them. They are not afraid to say bye-bye. And I feel like that will happen to you a lot in your future, because as it happens, when we start building boundaries and we start honoring our boundaries, there will be people testing us. There will be people who will test these boundaries and see if they can sneak themselves back in. And this also happens when you realize or you decide like, I'm over my ex, like I'm over it, like I know why it didn't work out, we were just not a good match, let me tell you something. That's exactly when they will reach out to you again. And it's sort of like a test, kind of like, well, are you really over it? Like, let's say, are you really over it? And yeah, that's usually what happens. At least that's what happens for me. And I feel like when you also, like, this is another thing, like when you talk to these people, when you speak to them, like you really hurt me when you said that, and I wish you hadn't said it, and I wonder why in fact you said it. And usually when they explain it, you kind of learn better, and you learn more about these people. Like maybe in their family that was a perfectly acceptable thing to say, and like they saw nothing wrong with it, but now that you explained it, maybe they can see why you would be hurt by it, and they're like, okay, well, I will just, you know, like I will stay away from that, like that's fine. And then it's okay to come to a compromise. Like I feel like you will be learning your people lately. I mean, like learning how you guys work, and that will actually make you a lot tighter, a lot closer to each other. Your future, like this version of you, who you would become if you started doing all of these things, they are really satisfied with their relationship and their friendship. They feel really loved, really happy. They feel like they can trust somebody. Like they have a safe place to land whenever they need it. They have people who believe in them and trust them and who has their back. And they feel really good about this. And they can now also see like people who are not good for them. Like this is a weird thing. Like this is a weird example. Like I had an ex who said like he was like super mean often to other people. Like he would tell me these stories where he would like say snappy things to other people. I was like, oh, that's like really mean. And he was like, yeah, I am really mean, except to you. And you're the only person in this whole world that I'm ever nice to. And I was like, aw, that's so sweet. Oh my god, if I could build a time machine and go back in time and kick myself in the throat and then come back, you better believe me, I would do that, because he was literally telling me that I am an asshole, but instead I took it as, oh, I'm so special because he's not a dick to me. Oh, come on. It was bound to happen that he was gonna be a dick to me as well, right? And he did. Eventually he did. He cheated. Like, hell yeah. That was a dick move. So yeah. You know, I feel like you will see these situations differently when you are over on the other side, when you have become this other person. You will see these you can look at your past relationships in a different light, and that way you can also see people in a different light. You have seen some of the patterns before, and you can tell if somebody is good for you or not good for you, or good for your friend or something like this. Like you can better see through people because you have this experience now, because you've learned through these let's say mistakes, though they were really not mistakes. They're lessons. Like you learned from these lessons, and this helps you in your future. This helps you figure out if a person is good for you or good for your loved one, good for your children. You can easily see through people like this. And you're not afraid to cut them off. You're not afraid to tell them or tell the other person, like, please don't do this. They're not good for you. Like like you protect your loved ones and they protect you. You have this, you're a little bit stronger. This version of you is a little bit stronger, a little bit less afraid. Someone like a mama bear, like I'm getting a scene from the New Girl. I think it was one of the later seasons where Chess and Cece, they have a, I think it was Cece's bachelor, I never know how to say that word. Bachelorette party? That was really bad. You probably know what I mean though. And they decided to smoke some weed and they got really high and they beat up this bread machine and then they had to go get a new bread machine. And there were like a lot of these scenes where Cece turned into a mama bear to protect Chess from doing stupid things while she was high. I'm getting that about you as well. But like, also what I'm getting here is like, you would be an amazing father or mother if you're not already. If you want to be, of course, not everybody wants to be, and that's completely okay. But yeah, you have this, you're fierce. Like the future version of you is fierce. They're not afraid. They're not a follower. They are a leader now. I feel like you're becoming, you're transitioning from a follower to a leader. You're the glue that holds this whole thing together, like all of these people. I feel like you might be organizing a lot of parties in your family with friends, and you just have a really good friendship, relationship sort of thing going on. And I feel like a lot of people would love to be a friend. And I feel like you're a little bit of protective of that though. You're still not letting a lot of people in because you need to be able to trust them and they need to be able to get you because, you know, you've changed. You're not who you used to be anymore. And, you know, if they can't take, you know, your honesty, for example, your newfound honesty, well, they're not invited. They're not invited. So yeah. But yeah, but this kind of like a feeling sorry for myself, sort of self-loathing and feeling bad when somebody says something and not standing up for yourself. That's over. That's gone. No longer happening in this future. That's over. No more. You're not doing that anymore. And I feel like it starts with just talking to people. And it could be just as simple as stop saying those white lies. When you're late, you're late. And say, you don't have to say why, you can just apologize. But you don't have to lie about it though. You don't have to say it. And if somebody, if somebody's inviting you to some place and you really don't want to go, you don't have to come up with an excuse. You just say, like, I don't want to go. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't want to. That's fine. That's completely okay. And I feel like the people who get this will get it. And people who don't, well, bye. Goodbye. Like, so long. They were not meant to be in your life anyway. Not like that. Yeah. So I guess this is what I have for you then. Yeah, I really hope you enjoyed. And I would really love to know if this resonated with you. I really love reading your comments. It's my favorite hobby. And I read all of them. But yeah, I really hope I see you in my next one. Bye!